I was interested, Alan, in your analogy about you can't make a League Two author into a Premiership author, with possible reference to 50 Shades of Grey, etc. Does the panel think, actually, ultimately, that talent will out, good writing will out, or will good marketing and hype ultimately out?
Good question.
I think they both will, and they both are. Hopefully, as you know, we have a long-standing and very well-respected publishing industry that makes every effort it can not to let J.K. Rowling slip through the net. Or, well, bad example, I suppose. You know, a lot of dross does get ignored. A lot of good books do get ignored, but a lot of very great books do get picked up. And that's not going to change. Really, it's two different audiences, isn't it? Some people reading certain books are after different things. And really, you're asking a question about literary quality, and some people don't care about literary quality. They want a romp, and you know, those two things are, they can exist side by side.
The round of applause suggested that there was a sense in the room that it is about hype, not talent, or I may have misinterpreted that. I think there is an issue here, which is that new social networking, I hear my colleagues and sometimes myself saying, you know, are you on Facebook, do you tweet, and this sort of thing. But the interesting thing about writers is that it's a solitary activity. It's a lot of industry involved. And some authors are just not comfortable doing that, and in my view we have to completely respect that. You cannot get a shy, introverted author to do that stuff if they're uncomfortable with it. It has to be tailored to what the author feels comfortable with. As for talent outing, I mean, writing is a craft. I like gardening, but I don't open my garden to the public and charge you for it. I mean, writers should be encouraged to write, but not everybody should expect to make money out of it. I mean, often, even with sophisticated agents, I have a conversation along the lines of, and this is a real one, what do you mean the advance is only £10,000? He can't afford the fees for his son at Westminster on that. And I have to say, well, that's not my problem. You know, for me, this is a business transaction about what I can sell of your book to the best of my ability, not that your lifestyle, living in Chelsea with your son at Westminster, is something I've got to help pay for. And it sounds all very publishing and cynical, I know, but if you ever run a competition, and the People's, the Alan Titchmarsh Orion competition has already been alluded to, you'd be quite depressed how poor the overall standard is. You know, it's nice to think of sweet flowers blushing unseen all over the landscape, but the truth is, if I get 3,000 unsolicited manuscripts a year, by which I mean dear sir or madam, not dear Alan, and we take them seriously because in my publishing history, the unsolicited author occasionally is the diamond in the haystack. You know, with that, I'm thinking particularly of Bill Bryson's first book, Lost Continent, Wasp Factory by Ian Banks. You know, these are unsolicited books, and somebody recognised them. So we take them seriously, but believe me, of those 3,000 a year, 2,900 you can discard almost immediately after page 1 or 2. In the same way that if I asked you all to recite To Be or Not to Be from Hamlet, I don't have to listen to the whole play to know which one of you is the actor. And some of those 2,900, you want to call the police out, you know. And of the other 100, I think 80 are sort of competent, 20 are good, and there's probably 1 or 2 a year that are really good. But it's not like there's masses of people out there. If I'm getting 3,000 a year, dear sir or madam, it means probably in every street in the country someone's writing a book. Because I'm not getting all of them, am I? And that is quite a daunting thought, and that's great. You know, writing is a great pastime, a hobby, but it's not. I think that there's this huge reservoir of talent that we're neglecting, but of course we do make mistakes. Anyway, that's far too long an answer. Sorry.
I'd say on the marketing front, there's a world of difference between good marketing and hype. So putting them both together, good marketing is telling stories, and what I would say is good stories will out. Always. Like I was talking about earlier on, cultural stories, and like I was saying last night about 50 Shades of Grey, the thing with that now is it's tipped into a cultural story, and the story now is about whether you've read it or not. That will be successful. So if you broaden what you consider to be a story, then good stories always will be found. But I think there's a problem with the idea that all good literature is found, because what if J.K. Rowling or anybody else who wasn't found for so long had given up just that one time before? So I think that there could well be some really amazing undiscovered stuff out there that will never be discovered because someone's given up, and that breaks my heart. I'd much rather someone would self-publish if they get to that point than give up.